Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing good. Yes, you guessed it right. Today's video is about sleep training. If you're seeing my channel for the first time, welcome. My name is Malvika and I have a 17-month-old son. My channel is all about parenting, mommy lifestyle and baby care. So consider subscribing to my channel if you're interested. So today's video is going to be about what actually sleep training is and how I ended up sleep training my son. I'm pretty sure most of you already know what it means, but for those who don't, sleep training is teaching your baby to fall asleep on his or her own without your help. That is, you lay the baby down on the crib and you allow the baby to settle down and doze off on their own. Now, some of you might be against this, and I'm not passing any judgment on that. It's your child and you're right, but those of you who have already made up your mind to sleep train due to any number of reasons, then this video is for you. I will be telling the simple strategies I followed to help my child and also to make it as gentle as possible. So the basic question is, when can you sleep train your child? You have to discuss about this with your pediatrician first. Generally, it is said that you can start sleep training your child when they reach the 6-month mark. Doctor will know better about your child's milestones and their weight issues and things like that. So consult with them first, and if they are okay, then you can begin this method. Now on to why I actually decided to sleep train my son. Honestly, before I had a kid, I was a judgy person. I was not into sleep training at all, but when I was stuck in the situation with knee-deep work and zero sleep, then I had to do it. I had to step up my game. And when he reached 1 year, we decided that we had to take some step to improve his sleep. We had sleep training in mind, but we were still hesitant to do it. So when we went for a monthly checkup to visit the doctor, she motivated us to do it, considering he had reached his milestones on time and he was under the proper percentile weight. So we decided to do it. Please keep in mind, each child is different and they go in their own pace. Some children get the hang of it in just a couple of days and they start sleeping through the night, but some children still take 1 or 2 weeks. And also there are a lot of methods that you can follow to sleep train your child. Some of the methods are Ferber method, cry it out method, pick up put on method and things like that, but nothing actually connected to me in a personal level, so we decided to go in another way. I just wanted to make my son sleep on his own and throughout the night. So I researched and finally took bits and pieces from different methods and we brought out our own method. I'm going to share it with you now. So before we dive into sleep training, you have to set up the bedroom first, because this is an essential part of this becoming a success. So we invested in a crib and some blackout curtains. If you don't have blackout curtains, it's okay. You can use 2 or 3 bed sheets together and put them on your windows so that there is absolutely no sunlight ever. This is very important because children tend to wake up with the light. So if it's pitch dark inside the room, they still feel it's night and they continue to sleep even if they wake up in between. So after setting up the room, it is setting up your mind, because please do not keep any expectations. As I said, every child is different. Your friend might have sleep trained their children in 2 or 3 days, but it might take longer for your children. So do not have any expectations, but please stay consistent. You should have a supportive spouse and a supportive family, because if they are not going to support you and you end up starting the method and suddenly after 2 or 3 days your husband or somebody else comes and picks up the child when they are crying, then this whole method will go to waste and the 3 days of your child crying will go to waste. So please make sure you have a supportive family, educate them about what actually you're trying to do and get them on board. Okay, so now on to the actual method. So what happened is we decided that both of us shall do it together, that is me and my husband. So he will be staying inside the room with the baby and I will be out with the baby monitor. And yes guys, it's always best to invest in a baby monitor beforehand, before you start this method, because it's really useful. At some point you should leave your baby and come out of the room till they learn to soothe themselves and fall asleep. So when you do that, if you want to stay calm and sane, if you have a monitor with you, you can look at that monitor and be secure and happy that your baby is doing fine and safe. And if you're going to do this for an older baby, say a toddler and not an infant, then you can invest in some good books that you can read to them before you start this method, so they already know on what is going to happen. Older kids can easily understand what you're trying to tell, so it's always good to tell them in advance than just spring it on them one fine night. Day 1 was quite bad. I took him inside the room. I patted and rocked for just a few minutes till he was drowsy and still awake. I put him inside the crib and immediately came out. My husband lay there in the bed next to him. He started crying like crazy because this was completely new to him. Usually he co-sleeps with us in the same bed, and we were not ready to put the crib in a different room, so it was in the same room and he slept in the crib and we slept in the bed, at least for the first 10 minutes. So that is why both of us didn't come out of the room. My husband was still inside just to make him feel okay. Sometimes he just touched him, sometimes he just hummed a few of his favorite songs, and he made sure the baby was comfortable. After 20 minutes of continuous crying, he slowly started to settle down. He knew that his father was there somewhere, so he was quite okay, but still he was crying on and off, and this went on for like a whole 1 hour. It was exhausting and devastating to see your child go through this, but this is ultimately for their good, for them to sleep on their own and sleep for long hours at night. So after around 1 hour or so, he was asleep and my husband slowly came out of the room. So this was day 1. Day 2 was even more horrible because my son started to anticipate that this was going to happen soon, and the minute he saw the crib, he started screaming and shouting, and he realized that we were going to put him inside. This is the time you need a lot of patience and encouragement from your spouse. Please do not give up. It might look difficult, but you can easily give up. Please don't. If you're going to give up, then all this effort is going to go to waste. So on day 2, again after a lot of screaming, I put him back to the crib, and same position, my husband was in the bed next to him. He didn't cry a lot like the previous day though, but he cried for a solid 10 minutes and then he went to bed. Day 3 was fairly okay. He kind of got the hang of it, and he was also tired after the entire day's playing and the crying. So after day 3, he started to settle down. He started to realize that this is fun, this is bedtime, and he can do it on his own. It is tough to go through with this, but once you see your child happy and content and sleeping in the crib all by himself, that is the best moment of your life. Trust me. In the first 3 days, he did wake up in between and he didn't sleep throughout the night because this was new for him. But again, we followed the same thing. We touched him and hummed few of his favorite songs, and he was fine and went back to bed. For those of you who are breastfeeding throughout the night, then this is a different case. You might have to wake up whenever your child generally wakes up for feed and give them the feed and then put them back to the crib. But for those of you who don't have that issue, it is a cakewalk. Once they realize they can sleep on their own, they are going to sleep for a continuous minimum 8-hour stretch. After day 5 and day 6, things started to improve and my son got the hang of it. He was happy and we were happy too. This was the first time in months that we were able to sleep through the night. And when it came to night weaning, it was not a problem for me because once he started to sleep on his own, he enjoyed sleeping more than having to feed. So he just night weaned on his own. So that is pretty much what happened for me and my son. I hope this was useful. This is just an introduction video to sleep training and just a gist of what I did. I will be posting a series of videos in the sleep training series, so stay tuned. If you found this video informative and useful, please do subscribe to my channel and like my video too. See you again with video number 2 in sleep training. Till then, bye-bye.